This is Dexter Robinson, Entrepreneurship 645, Logo and Justification. So Hatched with Heels is actually an entrepreneurship breakfast, and the idea came about a few years ago as I was watching a Shark Tank episode. I just really began to think about people that I had connections with through my undergraduate experience that have gone on and done some very creative and innovative things, and we just don't know because we lose a little bit of our connection as we continue to grow beyond our undergraduate years. So Hatch with Heels was a way to bring back those folks and allow us to connect and have some synergy. So the theme for Hatch with Heels is actually create, collaborate, and innovate. And Hatch is actually for entrepreneurs, investors, influencers, and folks who work and support services for those entities. So the first thing I had to really consider after kind of brainstorming was, what do I want the feel to be of the logo? What do I want it to represent? When people see it, how do I want them to feel when they see it? So I just started to begin to brainstorm some words. So as you'll see, there are some words on the screen. You think about growth and just being creative and an entrepreneur. Obviously, something like Hatch. I came up with the name first. So Hatch with Heels already. Made my mind to begin to wonder, well, what types of things hatch? So that's why you see different words like mammals and footprints and eggs, because I had the name before I had the logo. So some of those things that you see are explain a little bit better as to where my mind was going on the different types of ideas that I had in the process for creating a logo. So the next idea that I had was, once I started thinking about all these different things, I reached out to one of my students on campus who just recently graduated with a degree in journalism and broadcast here at UNC, but his kind of focus area is like marketing and advertisement. So he's really good at graphic design. So I told him a little bit about my concept and kind of where I was with the brainstorming. And the initial idea that I came up with through a quick kind of Google search was a light bulb, right? But I wanted the light bulb resembles an idea. I think most people, when somebody says somebody's thinking, you think of like a light bulb and maybe a stick figure. So the light bulb idea came up to me, and then I said, you know what, let's Google and see what kind of images come up if I put in light bulb and I put in growth, or light bulb and innovative. And I really like this idea of the light bulb and something growing inside of it. And I think that brought home the point of what I was thinking. However, it doesn't necessarily correlate with the name. So I think that's a big part, obviously, of the logo, is that there should be some sort of relationship between the logo and the name, unless it's just something that's completely abstract. But something like a light bulb, I think people already have certain symbols or images that come to mind when they see a light bulb. So we had to kind of grow on that idea. And what happened next was that I actually came out with a sketch one. So I told the artist, hey, I want something that is going to represent Hatch with Heels. So I gave him all of my ideas and kind of the things that I was thinking. So obviously I'm a Tar Heel, so the egg is somewhat blue. I wouldn't necessarily call that Carolina blue, but it's a blue egg, which kind of catches the attention of folks, and it's hatching, right? So then he has the theme below that. So that kind of got us going and allowed me to think a little bit. So then we went through the editing process and talked a little bit more, and we came out with another sketch. So this is the second sketch. So the feedback that I gave him was, hey, it'd be great if the egg was already kind of opened, right? And then the other piece to that is, I said I want it to be something that's large. So I want like footprints, but I want them to be large footprints, to say that, you're having, the footprints are supposed to represent like big ideas or something that's grand, right? So it comes out of this small egg and then it becomes something bigger than you can imagine. So I was thinking like, ideally something that doesn't actually hatch, right? So that's where the mammals came from in that brainstorming, right? So some of those animals don't hatch, clearly. So I was thinking like maybe it's an egg and you have uh, elephant footprints or something along those lines, which would be kind of cool. But I thought symbolically it kind of gives that, hey, this is something so different. I've never seen it or heard it before, and kind of pushes home the idea of what Hatch is all about, with being creative and collaborative and innovative. So this was the second sketch that he came up with, and we made a few more adjustments to get to our logo. So this is the actual logo for Hatch. Like I said, it's our entrepreneurship breakfast. I like the feet coming out of it. Still like the prints. I wish that the prints were a different kind of print. So this may be a logo that's in the making. I think I'm somewhat hesitant to change it, just from the standpoint of this is our third year, so people are somewhat familiar with the logo and kind of what Hatch represents. So while the logo is important, people have already begun to kind of associate the logo with a type of feel and expectation, which is why I'm so hesitant to change it at this point. But the process was fun. I really enjoyed it, and kind of working with my students and seeing him in a different light was very rewarding, in the sense that I got to see his strengths and what he's good at and what he enjoys doing, and hopefully he can make a career out of. Thanks for watching.